with the NRA after the mass shooting in Florida, the changes they're going to make, and an update on Jeremiah Valencia, the cruel way police say the 13-year-old was killed. Action 7 News Live at 5 is next.
We lived in this house 17 years before we got the wood stove. Main reason we wanted to get away from the fireplace was so that we could burn on no burn nights. This stove, it lets us burn any night of the year. Buying a stove from Blaze King was exceptional. They had a model that would fit without any alterations to the fireplace we had. We've gotten multiple compliments on this stove. It's saved us a lot of wood, so we feel like we're better stewards of the resources around us. I'm very happy with this stove.
Before Hamilton, before Rent, this was the groundbreaking show that reinvented Broadway forever. The Tony Award Pulitzer Prize-winning Singular Sensation.
Yesterday, goodbye.
Join the line, live on stage, a chorus line.
In Popejoy Hall, March 8th through 11th. Go to unmtickets.com.
Don't miss Nob Hill Furniture's Final Day Sale. Last chance to get the best deals in Albuquerque. Up to 75% off. The clock is ticking and time is running out. No reasonable offer will be refused. When it's gone, it's gone. Don't miss Nob Hill Furniture's Final Days. 3701 Central Northeast.
Anywhere. It's the place anything can happen, where suddenly you're in danger.
Target 7 finds disturbing information.
Of being scammed out of your money.
They say the work was never finished.
Tricked into a tough position.
Employees say they weren't even being paid.
Or of getting hurt.
The remnants of that terrible crash.
Anywhere something doesn't seem right, turn to the people who ask the questions others wouldn't dare. KOAT Action 7 News Live at 4. Coverage you can count on. Now, KOAT Action 7 News Live at 5. Coverage you can count on.
The gun debate is in full swing after the shooting in Parkland, Florida. 17 people died after a man attacked a high school with an AR-15. Now, the president is weighing in on Twitter. ABC's Linda Lopez tells us about his push to arm teachers.
10 days after the Florida high school shooting that killed 17 students and teachers, the debate about guns and gun safety remains front and center. The president once again pushing his idea of arming teachers, tweeting, "Armed educators and trusted people who work within a school love our students and will protect them. Not all agree this is the best way to prevent school massacres."
I am not going to stop, ladies and gentlemen, till we get these AR-15s off of the streets and out of the hands of people who would use them to kill others.
Republican Florida Governor Rick Scott breaking with the president, saying arming teachers is not the way to go. Instead, Scott suggests raising the minimum age to buy a gun.
We will require all individuals purchasing firearms to be 21 or older.
Parkland High School students demanding more gun safety laws are turning up the pressure on Congress to act.
Thoughts and prayers are not nearly enough. Congress owes them something more. We owe them action.
This as the Broward County Sheriff tells ABC News that he is investigating reports that 3 additional deputies rushing to the scene remained outside the school and reportedly did not engage with the shooter. And Scott Peterson, the armed deputy who worked at the school for 8 years, also remained outside, according to the sheriff.
To hear that he didn't go into school, it's just, that's your job. That's what you signed up for.
Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
Nicholas Cruz, the man in custody for carrying out that shooting in Florida, used an AR-15. In response, students nationwide have been staging walkouts to demand changes to gun laws. It's causing problems for the National Rifle Association. Several companies have since cut ties with the organization, saying it refuses to back stronger gun laws. For example, Delta and United Airlines just announced today it will no longer offer flight discounts for NRA members. Insurance giant MetLife will no longer offer policy discounts, and several rental car companies are following suit. The First National Bank of Omaha is pledging to no longer issue NRA-branded cards for members. And here in New Mexico, we've seen a rash of violent threats aimed at our schools. Just yesterday, we confirmed 7 new incidents, prompting the Grand Cibola School District to cancel classes at 2 of their schools. That brings the total to 23 threats this week alone, in which 2 teens now face federal charges. Action 7 News reporter Justin Matthews explains the new push push for tougher charges against them.
Bernalillo County District Attorney Raul Torres wants anyone who threatens to bring a gun to school be charged with a felony. Cibola High School student Chelsea Slanton faced a judge in juvenile court. She's accused of threatening to bring a gun to school using the social media app Snapchat. She was charged with a misdemeanor and is now out on house arrest. Torres says prosecutors should be able to take charges much further in cases like this. Activists say the initiative to make this punishment harsher is a step in the right direction in the midst of school shooting threats haunting students and parents.
My son, for instance, says to me, "Mom, I'm no longer wearing this neon yellow sweatshirt." Why, Aiden? Why don't you? Because I don't want to stand out in case there's an active shooter.
Torres says he hopes lawmakers will call a special session to talk about gun laws before the 60-day session scheduled in January 2019. Justin Matthews, KOAT, Action 7 News.
Back to Grants now, where officials are speaking out about these threats. Grant High School and Los Alamitos Middle School were two of the schools that canceled class Friday. Someone found the words "shooting February 23rd" written in a urinal at the high school. The FBI was called in to investigate, and the sheriff asked the district to cancel classes.
Until we make an example out of somebody, we're afraid that these things may continue.
And just after that message, someone threatened to shoot up the middle school. And law enforcement want to reassure you they're working very hard to vet these threats. Take a look at that map. Each dot represents the 23 threats against the schools this week. Police tell us they've made arrests in at least 5 cases. They include that student from Cibola High, as well as people at Kirtland Central High, Alamogordo, Las Cruces, and Belen. Meanwhile, Senator Martin Heinrich stopped by our station to talk about these school threats. He said something needs to change, and it's up to federal lawmakers to tee it up.
I think that time has come to address a lot of this at the federal level. There are some states that will frankly refuse to address some of the bigger issues here. And if we don't have a level playing field, it's going to be very hard, I think, to reel this back in.
He went on to say that addressing school shootings is about gun control and mental health. He hopes to force a debate and get legislation back on the floor. We'll, of course, continue to follow the latest on these scares around the state. And when we're not on air, you can get updates anytime on your mobile app and KOAT.com. 78% of New Mexico is in severe drought. The Sandias got a little snow last night. Byron will show you where more snow might fall tonight.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a major storm system, but any snow is good snow. So let's check out what's going to be happening. We need to use Max 1, however. If we can go to Max 1, please. This is Max 2. I can show you what's going on. Thank you very much. And this is how it looks as we go through tonight. And you'll see that chance of snow showers developing across the San Juan Mountains into Colorado and New Mexico by 7 a.m. Could see an inch around Chama and a half inch up around Durango. Lighter amounts around Taos, Angel Fire, Red River. And through the day tomorrow, again, not a major system, but we're looking at some snow across northern mountains. That's good news. It will be breezy and chilly for tomorrow. Highs once again in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho 40s, 30s in Santa Fe, and those breezes strongest right in the middle part of the day, about 15 miles per hour with some stronger gusts. So you'll need the jackets and coats perhaps all day long. More on the forecast just a bit. First, back to Megan.
Chilly. Thanks, Byron. All right, 4 people died in a plane crash in southwest Colorado near Dolores. Air Patrol says it was headed for Albuquerque Thursday morning when it just disappeared from radar. Search crews found it yesterday under 8 to 12 inches of snow. There were no survivors. The National Transportation Safety Board is looking into what caused this crash. 2 bodies found in Santa Fe County early this week are connected to a police case in Albuquerque. APD right now, though, won't tell us which case and who these victims are. A rancher found one of the bodies stuffed into a garbage can. Deputies found the other body just a few miles away. A former Trump campaign official pled guilty yesterday to charges relating to the Russian investigation. ABC's David Wright tells us what this could mean for the rest of the case.
Outside the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C., a dramatic entrance for this 45-year-old former political consultant, now center stage in the Russia probe. During the campaign, Rick Gates was strictly a background player. Quite literally so at the Republican National Convention. That's him standing right behind the nominee during a rehearsal. Gates traveled on the candidate's plane right down through Election Day and served as a consultant during the transition, too. He's now pled guilty to conspiracy against the U.S. and to lying to FBI investigators last February. He's the third former Trump associate to flip, along with former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and former Foreign Policy aide George Papadopoulos, all of them agreeing to cooperate with Special Counsel Bob Mueller in exchange for lighter sentences. Despite my initial desire to vigorously defend myself, I've had a change of heart, he explained to friends and family in a letter obtained by ABC News, calling it a gut-wrenching decision.
Robert Mueller would not have made this deal unless he felt Gates had something substantial to add to their case and their investigation.
President Trump has always insisted he's not worried about the investigation, which he sees as a distraction.
There's been no collusion between us and the Russians. There was absolutely no collusion. There is absolutely no collusion.
But Gates' decision to plea bargain clearly increases the pressure on the man who was his partner for decades, former Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort, who said in his own statement, "I continue to maintain my innocence. I had hoped and expected my business colleague would have had the strength to continue the battle to prove our innocence. For reasons yet to surface, he chose to do otherwise."
That was ABC's David Wright reporting. We're learning more about the murder of a 13-year-old boy whose body was found last month in Nambe. According to the Santa Fe New Mexican, an autopsy of Jeremiah Valencia's body showed he may have been burned and sexually assaulted. 3 people have been arrested for his death: his mother, Tracy Pena, her boyfriend, Thomas Ferguson, and Ferguson's son, Jordan Nunez. Ferguson is charged with first-degree murder, and then Pena and Nunez allegedly helped cover it up, so now both face accessory charges. Caught on camera, a shootout between a robber and 2 clerks in an Oklahoma liquor store. Police say the suspect walked in Thursday evening with a shotgun you see there, threatening one of the clerks as he demanded money. He walks away from the counter, and that's when both of the clerks grab guns from under the counter and fire at that robber. He was hit several times and is now in critical condition at a hospital. More problems with the Albuquerque Rapid Transit Project. City leaders are now considering changing bus companies after more missed deadlines and mechanical issues. Target 7's Chris Cordaro found out what's wrong.
There's no official start date for the ART project yet, and the city is still waiting for 4 more buses. All 20 of the buses were supposed to be delivered to the Duke City by October 4th of last year. The company then extended that deadline to February 22nd. On Friday, city leaders announced they will start exploring other bus provider options. The first 10 buses that arrived had battery charging issues. Lawrence Rael, the city's chief operating officer, says the newest batch of 6 also had mechanical problems.
These particular buses that we just received this past weekend, at least 2 of them are leaking fluid from the hubs right by the axles. There's some cracking on the exterior, on the rear panels of the bus.
BYD, the bus manufacturer, sent us a statement saying current delays are tied to their external supply chain, and they remain committed to doing right by the city. For Target 7, I'm Chris Guardaro.
And the state auditor has now launched an investigation into ART. Auditor Wayne Johnson says his office sent a letter to the city citing concerns about funding for the project. The letter also questions whether state, federal, and local laws were followed. The CDC is now saying 97 kids have died because of the flu since the beginning of October, and doctors say we're nowhere near the end of the flu season. So what do you do if your child gets sick and you want to protect everyone else? Action 7 News anchor Royal Day and Dr. Barry Ramo tell you what to do when the flu hits your home.
If the virus has gotten one of your family members, KOAT's Dr. Barry Ramos says get out that Clorox and start scrubbing.
If you get sick, you want to make sure that your house is clean. That means you keep all the surfaces clean.
Tables, toys, the fridge, the changing table. It needs to be wiped down. And don't forget soft surfaces.
You need to change the sheets and the towels in your house because they will hold the flu virus for a long time. You have to understand that the flu virus will stay on the surface for up to 48 hours.
As for the sick child,
they have to be quarantined. You keep them away from everybody else, and when there's anything that they have, you keep separate.
That means move their toothbrush, their favorite blanket or doll. And he says, Mom or Dad, you need to take precautions when doing this.
It's probably smart for the caregiver to wear gloves when they're handling all that stuff so they don't spread the germs all over their house.
If your child is showing signs of sickness, Dr. Ramos says parents have an obligation to protect other little ones outside of the home.
If your child is sick, don't send them to daycare.
And if your spouse gets the virus,
It'd be better if you slept in a different bed.
some helpful tips as we all are on guard, trying to lessen the blow of this year's nasty flu virus. Royal Day, KOAT, Action 7 News.
An elderly woman was inside of a parked car when it was stolen. Her niece's reaction while talking to police. And is the Prime Minister of Canada the love child of Fidel Castro? The shorter answer is no. Why this story isn't true and other false reports on the internet.
Anywhere. It's the place anything can happen, and you could get caught up in it.
Police are swarming the scene right now.
Where traffic gets in the way and puts you behind schedule.
You're going to want to find a different route.
Where the weather just won't cooperate and your plans get canceled.
Major storms moving into New Mexico.
Anywhere you go, go prepared. Turn to the people who can keep you on schedule. KOAT Action 7 News live at 4. Coverage you can count on.
Looking for vision care during retirement? Take a second look.
Ready, Daddy?
When it matters most.
Thank you, VSP.
VSP Individual Vision Plans offers vision coverage you can buy on your own. Because retirement means life's most important moments are yet to be seen. Go to vspdirect.com to see better. For life, for less.
Factory rebates up to $6,500. Interest rates as low as 0%. 3,000 new Fords all ready for immediate sale. Now celebrate at your New Mexico Ford dealer during our President's Day celebration. Now get into a 2018 Ford Escape or 2018 Ford Fusion. Sign and ride for just $219 per month. $219 a month with no money out of pocket. Just sign and ride. That's a 2018 Ford Escape or Fusion. No money out of pocket, just $219 per month. Don't miss the savings. Hurry to the President's Day celebration only at your New Mexico Ford dealer.
Camping World of Albuquerque has more inventory than ever, and these units must go. Through February 28th, shop the inventory reduction sale from America's #1 RV dealer. Take home a new StarCraft travel trailer starting at $139 a month, or save over $30,000 on a new Class C bunkhouse motorhome. Plus, every new RV purchase receives Good Sam Elite membership with 1 year of roadside assistance. Don't let these savings pass you by. Shop the inventory reduction sale only at Camping World in Albuquerque.
When it comes to SUVs and crossovers, nobody beats Honda. America's best brand of SUVs 3 years in a row, including the Honda HR-V, the 2017 Best Subcompact SUV for the Money, and CR-V, Motor Trend Magazine's 2018 SUV of the Year, and Pilot, a Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy, available now with 0.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. For details, see your New Mexico Honda dealer today.
You're watching KOAT Action 7 News live at 5.
An elderly woman sits in the passenger seat of a car when a thief jumps in and takes off. Anchor Todd Kurtz has the frantic pleas of the woman's niece as she tells police what happened.
96 years old, little frail lady.
Joanna Vigil left her aunt Sally Bareas in her car at a gas station on Lomas and San Pedro in late January when the unthinkable happened.
I parked that way. I came in and as I was paying to get gas, that lady said, "Well, is that your car?"
She looked outside to see a man she did not know in her car just before he backed up and took off. Her aunt was still inside.
Oh, my God. Okay. I'm so worried about it.
Joanna went on to blame herself for what happened.
I never leave the keys in the car. I don't care who's in it. Why would I do that?
Minutes later, police got a call about a woman found in northeast Albuquerque. It was. Sally told officers how she ended up at a stranger's house.
And he opened the door for me. Said, "Take your purse. I don't want your purse. I just want the car."
She was holding on to the car door when the suspect sped off, causing her to fall in the middle of the street. She finally pulled herself up and knocked on someone's door for help. Officers and paramedics got there. Luckily, she only suffered some bumps and bruises. Her family was just relieved that she was safe.
You okay? I'm okay.
Good. All right. Todd Kurtz, KOAT Action 7 News.
President Trump says new sanctions against North Korea are the largest ever imposed on the country. The new measures target 27 companies and 8 ships. They're designed to further isolate North Korea for its nuclear ambitions by discouraging other nations from doing business with them. Is President Obama being charged with treason? Or what about this? Are you getting a free box of donuts from Dunkin'? That's just 2 stories circulating on social media that are 100% made up. We'll explain why they're not true. The website Conservative Fighter posted a story that said the U.S. District Attorney Dana Benta will charge former President Barack Obama and any liberals or Democrats with treason for working to undermine President Trump. Well, the problem with the story is Benta isn't the U.S. District Attorney. He's the general counsel to the FBI, and he himself has said this story is not true. And what about this story? Is Canada's Prime Minister Fidel Castro's son. The story has been posted on several sites claiming Justin Trudeau's mother had an affair with the Cuban dictator in 1970, and he was their love child. Well, unless she was pregnant for 12 months, it's not true. Justin was born on Christmas Day in 1971. Finally, did you hear Dunkin' Donuts is celebrating their 67th anniversary this week by giving away a free box of donuts to every customer? While I wish this was true, it's not. The rumor started making its rounds via a fake online coupon, which is very apparent that it's fake when you realize the chain is celebrating its 68th, not 67th anniversary. And then, believe this or not, but the Winter Olympics wrap up tomorrow. Here's the latest medal count, though. Norway leads with 38, followed by Germany with 28, and both countries have 13 gold medals. Canada is in third with 29, and Team USA has 9 gold medals, 8 silver, and 6 bronze, with a total of 23. And Team USA won one of those gold medals early this morning. Our men's curling team winning big, making it their first gold medal. Plus, an Olympic legend is born. ABC's Alex Stone tells us what's turned the alpine world upside down.
A history-making performance, curling taking center stage on the final weekend of Olympic events. The U.S. men's curling team winning its first ever gold medal, sliding, sweeping, and bumping their way to an unexpected win, beating Sweden 10-7. The U.S. men advanced the finals following their huge upset of 3-time defending Olympic champion Canada in the semifinals. In the crowd at the gold medal match, the U.S. delegation, including Ivanka Trump and Sarah Sanders, who sat cheering on the U.S. men. A first on the slopes, Esther Ledeska of the Czech Republic winning a second gold in a second sport after shocking the world to win the giant slalom on borrowed skis last week. The snowboarder becomes the first Olympian to win gold in alpine skiing and snowboarding, doing it at the same Olympics. Her latest gold coming in parallel giant slalom snowboarding. American Kyle Mack soaring to new heights for Team USA. Mack, a Michigan native, taking the silver medal in the first ever men's big air competition at the Olympics. Afterwards, Mack tweeting to Ivanka Trump asking for a ride home on Air Force One. Trump responded saying they're flying commercial, but he can sit next to her or visit the White House. Americans unable to medal a new Olympic event, mass start speed skating today. In the men's final, Joey Mantilla came in 9th. In the women's, Heather Bergsma was the highest U.S. finisher in 11th. And once bobsled, the men's hockey gold medal game, and cross-country wrap-up, then it's time for the closing ceremony. The theme this year, Next Wave, looking toward the future. We're told it'll have a party atmosphere celebrating the Olympians. Alex Stone, ABC News, Pyeongchang.
Another cold blast on the way. Byron's here with your live Super Doppler 7 forecast.
Yeah, we were about 10 to 15 degrees colder today than we were on Friday. The breeze is, of course, making it feel colder than that. Tonight, snow showers across the north, and we talked about that at the top of the show. Chilly breezes for tomorrow, and shower chances will be going up for the middle part of the week. 7-day forecast, look at this, 47 for a high tomorrow. That is colder than normal for this time of year. Our normal temperature this time of year is in the 50s. My watch is falling off as we speak, so I'm going to have to take it off. I don't know what happened. I think the latch just broke. But look at this. We're looking at lows in the teens and 20s across north, highs 40s, 50s, 30s around Santa Fe. Snow showers around Santa Fe, also Taos and Angel Fire, Red River. Most of the action will be over the mountains, and even there, we're talking about it coating to maybe a couple of inches at best for tonight into tomorrow. Monday, it warms up. Windy Tuesday, and then another system sweeps through for Wednesday. Rain rain and snow showers increasing. Winds crank up. Look at the wind gusts across the state. That's what these are. You see 40-plus mile-per-hour winds Ruidoso to Carlsbad. Temperatures come down briefly, and then a warm-up after that. You want my watch? Here you go, Megan.
No, I don't want your watch. It's broken. Why would you give me a broken watch?
Yeah, that's why you can have it. Back to you.
All right, guys, all new on 7 next week. There's a new mysterious health alert linked to marijuana.
And then I remember trying to stand up, becoming so nauseous, hunching over.
Medical experts admit they don't know much about this illness, but say there are very clear symptoms. We'll tell you what they are and how you can treat it Monday at 5. And we all know some beverages pair very well with certain foods. But what about beers with Girl Scout cookies? This you won't want to miss.
'To err is human. To anticipate is the Lexus RX. With pedestrian detection, auto braking, and lane departure alert standard, experience another step closer to a safer world. See Lexus of Albuquerque and Lexus of Santa Fe. I no longer live with the uncertainties of Hep C, wondering, what if? I let go of all those feelings because I am cured with Harvoni.
Harvoni is a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. It's been prescribed to more than 250,000 people and is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment with 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. Before starting Harvoni, your doctor will test to see if you've ever had hepatitis B, which may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after Harvoni treatment. Tell your doctor if you've ever had hepatitis B, a liver transplant, other liver or kidney problems, HIV, or any other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Harvoni can cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects of Harvoni include tiredness, headache, and weakness.
Ready to let go of Hep C?
Ask your Hep C specialist about Harvoni.
Fish like a pro at the Bass Pro Shop Spring Fishing Classic with all the latest gear and huge savings. Like Bass Pro utility boxes, 5 for $10. And a Bass Pro auto inflatable vest for under $80.
Wow, that's a Chevy?
The most awarded lineup in the industry has people at a loss for words. Well, almost.
Oh, wow. The pedals too?
Wow. Are you kidding me? I could go test drive one right now.
Wow. This is it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Experience the wow factor. Take home an award-winning Chevy today.
Get 0% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 cash allowance on most Cruise models when you finance with GM Financial. See your New Mexico Chevy dealers.
Why call 2 men in a truck? If you're like Joe, you need to move your business without moving a single meeting. The word stop isn't in your vocabulary. You want it handled with no hitches, no glitches, and no sweat. That's why you call 2 men in a truck.
2 men in a truck.
Milk and cookies, of course, go hand in hand. But have you ever tried cookies with a glass of beer? Byron Morton shows you where you can find out which beer pairs perfectly with your favorite Girl Scout cookies.
The sound of beer pouring from a tap may be music to your ears, but does beer and cookies tempt your taste buds?
Beers has this really good ability to pair with food in multiple aspects. You have carbonation, you have potential sweetness or dryness, and then on top of it, you have things like hops.
Yep, those are your favorite Girl Scout cookies paired with some cerveza. Boxing Bear Brewing Company in Albuquerque has come up with what they say are perfect pairings to make your sweet tooth very hoppy.
The sweet milk stout goes good with the chocolate.
And it seems they're onto something fizz-tastic, too.
Sweetness of the lemon, of this cookie, and the bitterness here, really good. Balances the palate really well.
You can make up your mind for yourself. Head over to KOAT.com or open your KOAT app to watch the full video. Who knows, maybe next time you're aching for an ale, you wouldn't mind it paired with a Thin Mint, too. Byron Morton.
It's just a pretty good combo all around, really.
KOAT Action 7 News.
Now, we won't have a 6 o'clock newscast, so we'll join you back here at 10. See you later.
In the land of enchantment, more New Mexicans choose and trust KOAT Action 7 News than any other source. That's coverage you can count on.
Sandia area thinks it's time to take our relationship to a new level. So, let's buy a house together. Buying a home is easier with Sandia area's locally approved low-rate mortgages for every lifestyle. Call, click, or visit Sandia area today. It's your new mortgage. Get moving.
Factory rebates up to $6,500. Interest rates as low as 0%. 3,000 new Fords all ready for immediate sale. Now celebrate at your New Mexico Ford dealer during our President's Day celebration. Now get into a rough and tough 2017 Ford Super Duty and get up to $3,500 cash back. Only Ford Super Duty gives you best-in-class 800 pounds of torque and 400 horsepower. That's $3,500 cash back on America's best-selling truck for 41 years. Don't miss the savings. Hurry to the President's Day celebration only at your New Mexico Ford dealer.
The athletes of Team USA only have one thing on their minds: winning. With Xfinity, they have the fastest internet and the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. That's a win. They get up to 5 lines of Xfinity Mobile included with their internet. Another win. And with the Stream app, they get live sports and the most free TV shows and movies on the go. That's another win. Altogether, that's a win, win, win. Get started with Xfinity Internet and TV for $40 each a month for 12 months. Now with more speed than ever. Plus, ask about Xfinity Mobile. Click, call, or visit a store today.
Before you sing the anthem, before you clutch the gold medal, you train. Before the event starts, before the day breaks, before you even decide to compete, you train. Because to face the best in the world, you need to prove to yourself that you belong. Right now, lease a new 2018 Corolla for just $159 per month or get $1,000 cash back on Corolla. Toyota, proud partner of Team USA. Toyota, let's go places.
It's a sale so big, you'd think you were dreaming. Reliable Chevrolet is putting your dreams in your driveway. Get a 2018 Silverado for less than a 2017 model. 2018 Silverado Crew Cabs, $11,000 off MSRP. 4-door Silverados, $25,995. Buy now and make no payments for 90 days. Get 0% APR for 72 months. Driveway dreams delivered. Hurry to Reliable Chevrolet, right across from Cottonwood Mall.
Reliable Chevrolet. Sandia area thinks it's time to take our relationship to a new level. So, let's buy a house together. Buying a home is easier with Sandia area's locally approved low-rate mortgages for every lifestyle. Call, click, or visit Sandia area today. It's your new mortgage. Get moving.
Tonight, states of emergency. The severe weather threat sweeping across at least a dozen states. Reports of tornadoes touching down, along with massive flooding. Also tonight, new questions about the Florida school shooting. Did more officers also hesitate to rush into the building and save students? Clearance in jeopardy? Is the president's son-in-law about to lose high-level access? Jared Kushner's background check and the new rules in effect that may be blocking him. Plus, not backing down. A crook with a shotgun confronting a mother and daughter, but the women defending their store, grabbing their own guns and firing back. Wild escape, the prison break caught on camera, inmates busting out by smashing through a window. And the credit card company admitting a mistake, now giving back $330 million to customers. Tonight,